a really important technique to learn right from the beginning is to bring up the bobbin thread and fasten off your threads before you go too far with your quilting. If you don't bring up the bobbin thread before you start to stitch, it makes a nest at the back of your quilt, a nest of untidy threads that you've later got to try and go back and unpick and sort out. So just by bringing up the bobbin thread, you eliminate all that hard work. But there is a little bit of a trick to it, and whilst it's very easy, it confuses a lot of people in the beginning. So I'm going to show you on my long arm machine, but you can do exactly the same on a domestic machine. The only difference is on a domestic machine, your thread goes through the tension discs and is held tight if your foot is down. So every time you bring the needle up, you will also need to bring your foot up so that you can pull the thread through. Okay, so let's just show you with this one. I've got an end of my thread here, so I'm just going to hold on to that, and I'm going to press needle down, needle up. If I hold on to this end of the thread, on your domestic machine you're going to lift your foot. On the long arms you don't need to because we have a hopping foot. If I pull the machine away, can you see it pulls up my bobbin thread? So I'm going to grab hold of that one as well and hold both threads here together. Now, the handy quilter machines, the newer ones, have a beautiful tie-off function. So I can just press a button and it will do a tie-off for me. But not everybody has that. So what options do you have? You're just going to move your needle up and down, either using your foot on your domestic machine or the button on the machine. And every time I put the needle down, I'm moving the machine 1 or 2 threads to either side. So it's making me a little tie off. So now if I pull that machine away, but I pull on these 2 threads, they are well and truly secure. So for me, I don't sew in ends. I would just come with my scissors and I would cut them off. So I can take my machine back to that point and start to sew and not have any ends that I need to sew in. So let's stitch just for a few seconds. Alright, if that were the end of my pattern, I again don't want to sew in ends on my quilt, but I need it to be neat and tidy and not have to go back and sort out anything later on. So I'm going to do almost the same procedure, just in reverse. So this time I'm going to also do a few tiny stitches, 1 or 2 threads apart. So I'm just moving the machine backwards and forwards a tiny bit till I've done 5 or 6 stitches perhaps. On your domestic machine, again, you're going to lift the foot at this point, and I'm going to grab my thread up here as it comes into the top of the needle. Pull myself a decent length, 6 inches worth. My camera is in really close, so you can't really see how much, but it's quite a good length. Pull the machine away, and I can pick up now this thread. I can pick it up. Here it is, I got it. Pick up the thread and come back with my foot. So I'm going to put the needle down in the same spot where I did my tie off. Needle down, needle up. Domestic machine, you're going to lift your foot, not on the long arm, and move the machine away. When I do that, again, you see it brings up my bobbin thread here. And it brings up a loop. So I've actually got 2 threads of the bobbin, and I've got 1 on the top. I've already done the tie off. So I can just come in now and cut all 3 of those threads. Then that stop and start are handled, finished. I never have to go back to them. They're neat and tidy, and they are secure. If you do enough stitches, it's not going to come undone. If you are worried, you could put a spot of fray check on the back of the fabric on your backing after you're done, but I don't personally do it. I don't go and hunt for them afterwards. I've handled them now and I know they're okay. It's a really, really useful technique, and it's one that's worth watching over if you didn't quite get it the first time round. I hope it helps you.